Hey guys, I've got the X-Tool F1 Ultra here, and I want to give you everything you need to know if you're considering purchasing a laser. And I'm actually going to show you how this one works specifically using my computer. So stay tuned for that. But let's talk about the notes. I actually wrote my notes on a little wood board so I could actually use it while I go through this, but it was engraved by the laser. So really cool. But first thing first is you can do a variety of materials. So you've got wood, you've got an aluminum card that we're going to do our test on. You also have slate that you can do it on. You can also do brass, titanium, and really a lot of metals, which is really great. The laser itself actually has a 20-watt fiber and diode laser, meaning it's not just one, it's two, which is different from the previous models and really sets it apart. Now, another big value piece that I think this one adds is you can actually have up to 7 gigabytes of stored files that you can upload via a USB or USB-C port here on the side that we'll show in just a minute. But you can see the laser is pretty significant. It's got an 8.5 by 8.5 inch work area, so pretty significant. It's about 35 pounds, so when you're moving it is pretty heavy. Make sure you have space. Now, it does come with a touchscreen control panel that we'll look up a little bit closer, but let's go ahead and actually show you how to do this. We're going to engrave this card with a pretty intricate design, and so let's actually see how to do that. All right, so we've got our computer here, and we're actually going to show you how this works. All right, so we've actually got the sign in. So it actually does come with the X-Tool Studio that you can actually press and open. And this is going to be the main app that you use in order with the laser. Now, at the first startup, you're going to have to connect it via Wi-Fi and things like that. So this assumes that you've already done that. But once you're ready, you get the X-Tool Studio brought up. You're actually going to go here into the new project tab up in the right-hand corner. After you do that, it's going to load. The laser will beep once it is indicating that it is connected and ready to go. So we should hear that. There we go. So, and we're going to let this load. We've got our nice, kind of blank slate here. But let's say we want to, you can see that it's pulled up our kind of a camera picture of the piece itself, which is really neat. Now, if you're wanting to continue on, what you're going to do is you're going to either hit Control-I. You're going to want to use an SVG file. So we're going to pull up a tree of life, which is a pretty intricate design. And you can see the design here. Now, I'm going to change the color just so you can see it a little bit better. But this, you can see how big it is. Now, I know the width of this is going to be about 2 inches. So I'm going to change this number to scale it down. Now, we can see here the design, and we can actually place it over this, which is really great to get us started. We can get an idea on where it's going to sit. You can square it up with the lines. But let's say I forgot to put my little piece of aluminum on here. What I can actually do is there's this little photo button here that actually allows me to readjust the piece of material that I have on there, and it's actually going to take a photo. Now, it takes just a few seconds to do so, but you'll see the actual image adjust just like it did. So we're just going to start with that for now, but I'm just going to line this up the best that I can. Now, there are files, that's pretty good. We'll probably adjust here in just a sec, but we're going to start from top down in the process. So we're going to go through, we have that we're going to process on a flat surface. There's actually different, you can buy little extensions and things like that to help, and you can change. So if I click mode, you can see there's a rotary attachment, different types of batch processing, conveyor that actually slides it. But for now, we're just going to do a flat surface, and we're actually going to do, the material is going to be these black metal business cards. We're actually going to apply this. Now you can find these settings already loaded up, but we got that on there. We're going to go down. We're going to use the engrave setting, but there's score, engrave, and cut depending on how deep you want to go. And we're going to go ahead and power it up to 100 just for this sake. A lot of this will be trial and error on the materials that you get and what you like. Now, you can see here, there's a button that says framing on the right-hand side. Maybe here, I'll give you a little angle. But what this will do is if I click framing, I'm going to move you over here. You can actually see that it gives me an outline in the laser itself showing where the design will be done. And I can actually take this and move it to accommodate where I want it. So we're just going to do this for sake of a test. Just call it good right about there. So that's great. It might be a little bit off center. But now that we're back here, we've got our design, we've got our modes, we're ready to go. We're going to click process. And what process is going to do is it's going to give us an estimated time. It's going to remind us to pull down the protective enclosure. So we can see that this one says it'll start or take about 1 minute and 2 seconds. So we're actually going to hit start on the computer. It's going to transfer the file to the actual control panel. And all we're going to do is make sure that we close the covering here itself. And then we're going to press the green go button on here. And you can see the laser actually at work. Now, I do recommend definitely enclosing this just for safety purposes. Is super important. But you can actually see, I think it's so cool, the design that gets engraved, and you can watch it in the process, which is really neat. So we'll go ahead and wait and skip ahead to when it's done. All right, so we're just finishing up. You can see it finishing here. It gives you a beep when it is done. You can also follow the time on the computer. But one of the things I think is kind of cool is I can lift this up and pull it out and touch it right away. Now, because this is like an aluminum, it's really, it's just a little warm, but it's not hot, which is really great. But you can look at the design. I mean, that's a pretty intricate design to be able to sketch and etch and engrave. But it looks nice, it looks crisp, and it really is powerful. Now, if you're considering the laser, there's a couple pieces of advice. Definitely make sure you pull the cover down and be aware of the safety features in the actual laser itself. Like I said, we'll pull over here, but you have your red stop button, emergency stop button, and you got your USBs, but just be aware. And I would recommend putting a purifier on the back just because the fan will blow out the debris in the back. But honestly, if you are looking for a laser, the F1 Ultra is a great one. Here we go, and get you set. Is a great one, and honestly does a great job for what you need it. You can use it as a business, you can use it as personal, you can use it as just very personalized gifts. So I appreciate you taking the time, but definitely consider the F1 Ultra if it's something that you are looking for. Thanks.